and welcome to another exciting edition of Visual Impressions on NTA. I am Omar Mohammed. Now, recognizing the importance of our cultural values, especially in those way and age when history tends to be mimicked within the twinkle of an eye, is necessary. So, that is why I always bring art, culture, and historic part on this program. There will be seeing some historic images that has been vertically identified as event type, and less certainly a great fascination image.
Jadia's Trust Foundation is an organization that is concerned about the moral, heritage, and cultural upbringing of our children. They explored this year's event with an exhibition for the children and a visit to the National Museum of Unity in Ibadan, Oyo State.
It represents the strength behind womanhood. So this woman, on a normal day, she's like a regular human being, but she's a witch. And she feels like the safest place for her children is in her hair to keep them safe. And when you come close to her, she transforms into a tree to fortify herself. Because like normally wood is a very strong substance. And then this heart represents the love she has for her children. And then the veins wrapping it shows how much she wants to protect her children no matter what. I get my inspiration from looking at nature or from my mom, because my mom loves art a lot. And then whatever comes into my head, I explore it and then I transfer it into a medium that I can show everyone.
From my experience here, I've really learned a lot of things. For example, now I've seen the Ewi Akitola leaf, which is used to heal malaria. And I've also seen some designs, some beautiful designs, which has actually raised my hope for Nigeria, that Nigeria is going to be a beautiful place, and also do things that will help people and remind us of our cultures and everything.
These children are very young. They've been born into so-called modern world, and our culture is what makes us. Every indigenous group of people, every group has its own culture. Culture is the life of the people, the entire life. It has both what we call material, these are things that are tangible. Then it has the non-material aspects, which have to do with our spirituality, our philosophy, our what we can call our ethics, what the Yoruba call omoluabi, which you cannot translate into English direct. You have to use one or two sentences. With somebody who is complete, who has integrity, who is respectable, and who behaves as you would expect a human being to behave.
As you can see it right now, like it's a good vision, it's an happy vision. It's not like other artwork that is about sadness, that you see tears or something. This is an happy vision, and I'm hoping it for Nigeria, because I really believe in Nigeria, that one day Nigeria will be a better country, a place where there will be rest of mind.
Because I've seen the late Akintola's car. I've seen how materials are being used to produce beautiful things. I've seen how, I've also learned that nothing is a waste, because even cover of bottles are used to design beautiful things. And I've also learned that our culture, that we should learn how to learn how to take our culture very important, because our culture is a very, very beautiful thing, which teaches and reminds us of things of the past.
During my own time, when I was at their age, I never had this kind of opportunity. But then I realized that things are changing now. Then I'm now open to this kind of opportunity, coming in to see all these historical materials, artifacts, and then it teaches them more about culture and how they can uphold our culture. As you can see, some of them are dressed in our attires. So it is not that we are imbibing what is not us. So we are retaining we are cherishing our own heritage.
So when we talk about Yoruba language, you cannot escape it without connecting it with the culture and the tradition. So the only thing that differentiates us from people or from other culture is the language. When we speak, we know that Yoruba language is basically 3 tonal languages, which is the high, the mid, and the low tone. Do, re, mi. At the end of the day, if you are to speak a language and you see the beauty in it, the only beauty we have is the fact that it has 3 tones. And these 3 tones makes us different from the rest of the culture. Now let's link it with our dressing. If you see Yoruba person, if you see an African woman or an African man or an African kid, you will definitely know that, oh, when I see Yoruba, something comes to mind. Do we want to talk about our Asha Ofi, Asha Oke, Adire, and a whole lot of things. Now, when a Yoruba person or a Yoruba indigene, when the person now speaks the language, Ede Yoruba, you will know that, Oyato, it is different. Because one thing is first, that every African parent, every Yoruba parent will teach his or her kid, which is greeting. Eka, Eka Asan, Eka Ale. And from there, we learn respect.
Kamaba Bagbe started with hundreds of pupils and students enjoying the interactive display of cultural heritage, visual arts, folklore, traditional dances, and a quiet time with African storybooks.
There's something we call null curriculum in education. Children learn by seeing in their environment. So this is a perfect learning environment. And we're learning about culture. They are seeing it. So it sticks into the brain. They can never forget it. It's different from 1 + 1, 2 + 2. They are seeing, they are interacting. So it's a beautiful thing. And then, like the said about this program is Kama Sheikh Bagbe, Kama Dag Asha, the culture. Because if we forget all those things, people will come to teach our children. So it's better we start teaching them and we make it become our daily routine of life.
What I do is I travel Nigeria and Africa, hopefully, and I take pictures to remind people that they come from a beautiful culture, a beautiful country, and I want people to be constantly reminded of that fact. So that's why I create images like this that show the color, the vibrance, and the lovely culture that African people come from.
No, it's not greedy, it's not selfish. So all these are part of our culture. And when we were growing up, there used to be opportunities for storytelling, whereby they will tell us some stories of the past. They will use animal stories to teach us morals. You know, the tortoise is a very, what can I say, notorious animal for being mischievous, for trickish and so on. So by telling children about their culture, they have an identity and they will not be apologetic for who they are.
èjìrẹ́ èèlà kí ẹ̀dùn gbálájá orí igi ó fún mi bọ́ relé ò bá sì mí mọ́ padà lẹ́yìn rẹ̀.
A walk into the exhibition space of Chike and Urunwa, one can tell their spiritual affiliation through their works. One is biblical, while the other is about strong women.
So this is Bathsheba. In this Bathsheba figure, everybody has seen Bathsheba represented over the years as a very shapy lady. We tend to think that infidelity and adultery happens only with like shapy lady. So I'm picking again body shaming with this work. People shame ladies a lot. Ladies should be comfortable in their own skin. So this is my own version of Bathsheba. So this is my version of Solomon, described as a very smart person. The title of this particular one in this series is actually called Checkmate. You know, he was said to be very smart. So on here he's playing a chess game, and it's actually checkmate here. If you play chess, you understand. So that is my depiction. And he didn't fight any battle, Solomon. So he was very smart, found a way to maneuver and understand diplomacy and handle this kingdom very well with the wisdom that God gave him.
I'll be talking about this work titled Modern Mona Lisa. The work was inspired by the Mona Lisa painting, but the message behind it has nothing to do with the Mona Lisa painting. So for me, it's talking about women and how powerful they are. Now you can look at it and talk about the rebellious aspect, but I'm not looking at it from that way. I'm just looking at the doggedness and resilience of present day women in what they're doing when it comes to career. I will talk about myself, then referencing other women that are inspiring me. Then secondly, also the hairstyle, which we know as the traditional hairstyle back in the days, is something that I find so intriguing, and it's something I would like to try on my head one day, because it's very interesting. I'm trying to talk about the cultural aspect of it, though this is red, not black, and I like using different color also to show women that I feel they have the freedom of expression in the way they want to look also.
Well, I know very well both artists, Chike and Chidima. In fact, I actually curated before Chike's work in Horizon Gallery before. And as an artist, as you mentioned, I really appreciate his style and his immense talent of both of them. They're really impressive artists. And I enjoy going to and see their work because it's absolutely amazing. I think I mentioned to you that I really in love with Nigerian artists and how talented they are normally and how talented the country is.
Abuja, the art scene is becoming more and more. I was actually at the Nikki Art Gallery of the opening, and I'm glad to say the building is amazing. And I'm glad Nikki Arts is now in Abuja. They're looking to bring more art to Abuja and bring more artists from all over Africa, because I think that's what we need. We need African artists to present their work in Africa and have the ability to work and earn a living from their art in Nigeria and Africa-wide. As I said, I'm a keen African arts lover and know many and follow many, but I feel there's not many places that they can really show their art in Nigeria. So we welcome Nikki Art, but it's still not enough. So hopefully more galleries will come so African and Nigerian artists can show their work.
A series, or a three-pitch, that's what it's called. The three of them go together. So here we have the first one is called David. This is David. Like I said, most of my works are multi-tangential and directional. So we have this is reprised from the normal statue of David as carved by Michelangelo. It's very popular, so it takes these same pose. But the figure here is changed, you know. David was described as being black in the Bible. If you check your NLT version, it shows that he was a black person. So it's been wrongly rendered over the years. So I felt I should do justice to that. So now in the area where his head is the regular Versace logo that have the Medusa inside. So the head of Goliath is carrying in his hand now is the head of Medusa. This is my own way of saying we have to replace this iconoclasm that has happened over the years.
I think I will start from the hairstyle, which is also similar to the former one, the traditional hairstyle we have, and you see the symbol of love inside. So with that, I'll go over to the main painting itself. So my style, if you can zoom in, there is this kind of tiny butterfly which I represent in my own form because I see it from the angle of talking about the soul, talking about the metaphysical, talking about metamorphosis, that's stages of butterfly and its interpretation to life entirely. So also I titled this work Akwukwo. Akwukwo means the holy book, that's Bible, and which it was inspired by my mom, who all my life I know her with one particular book, and that is Akwukwo Bible. She likes reading Igbo Bible, and anywhere you see her, you must see her with this Bible, and it shows me the kind of faith, or will I say hope, and life it gives to her.
Usually my work has multiple tangents that they address. So usually one work doesn't just speak to one theme alone, or there are several other contexts, of course. The Jesus here is black, which is a regular thing in my work, because that's what I do believe. Not only is he black, he's also very contemporary. He's wearing a shirt as against the normal robe that he would wear.
Interestingly, this is one of its kind. It's really different from most of the things I've seen this year, especially for Chike Membo. Is outstanding. His works are on a different dimension. And for Chidima is becoming bolder and bolder. Her works are becoming stronger and really, really, really outstanding. I mean, it's awesome. If you look around, you've seen the quality of works presented and the way the works are displayed. You will know that the art scene in Abuja is really taking a different dimension.
Established artists can think of mentoring more junior artists, not into the way they do their art, but into the way how they reach to an audience. Because it's a type of way, it's an experience that tells you, and maybe sometime when you experience, you have years under your belt, you can take a young artist and help them into reaching an audience, or having them exhibit with you, even though it's not the same level of quality. Many established artists are doing it, but I think if we have more, this will help just have more nurturing, more art and artists who can broadcast in a, let's say, best manner their art.
Yes, it's a very nice location. It took us a while to find it, but it's a very nice location. And as I said, talking to the artist, Irunwa, that's the one I've spoken to, and she explained her work, how she's linking her art to her cultural identity and bringing the life of the people from her past, and hopefully articulating that for the future generations. As you can see, the arts show images of young girls and women from her parts of Anambra State, and I've just spoken to her about her activism and her desire to articulate the cultures that in many instances have been lost, and a lot of the symbols that have been lost from that part of the world. And that's something I'm very interested in as a Pan-Africanist and someone who's very interested in African art from all over the continent. So it's good to hear someone from Anambra is bringing that to the exhibition. So hopefully that kind of work can be shown more within Nigeria.
It's a very singular exhibition because Chike's style is different from Urunwa, but Chike is about biblical characters and Urunwa is about strong women. But they're all very vibrant, they're all about strong personality. So I think it was very singular, unusual to have them together, but I think they really enjoyed having this all together. So I think it was a great experience. So I hope they enjoyed it, but people really love it. As you can see, this very vibrant work.
The combination of tradition, some artists use tradition, their own input in their own tribes, some of the Igbo brings their particular Igbo culture, the houses. So all of them bring that kind of particularity that is very unique of Nigeria, and the way that they do it, sometimes they combine it with modern style. So it's very, very unique, particular, and very, as I said again, I repeat, very talented.
One thing that inspired me mostly to use this hairstyle, I can't remember the particular station that posted it. Let me not quote one wrong, but I remember during the COVID-19, they tagged this hairstyle the COVID hairstyle, which I feel is because of lack of more research from the newspaper that made that post. They don't know this hairstyle has existed back in the days in Africa. We know our mothers to have this kind of hairstyle. So for me, it's like bringing it back to create more awareness that this hairstyle is not just coming out today, and it's not because of COVID-19 that we are seeing this hairstyle. This has been our identity. It's part of our culture, and we love it and we are proud of it.
There's no better way to project art without this kind of collaboration. And for Chike and Chidima, they may be coming from two different angles, but there's a very strong synergy in the message they try to portray. And I think that is what we're trying to encourage. We're trying to encourage this kind of partnership in the arts.
The ambience from that exhibition was kind of complex to me though, because of the way he just the poetry camera with the script work before weaving them all together. It was amazing pieces. And to think of Uruwa's designs there were absolutely amazing, making this exaggerated crowd be believable and have subject leaders something which is breathtaking. And so are you all, my viewers. Always amazing and a delight to have you here. Tune into NTA just to watch visual impressions. But I'm sorry because I have to get going now. I'll see you again next week. I am Omar Mohammed. You have a lovely week ahead.